What is cracking? Yo guys, Crash here guys here with a video, and I'm going to be talking about Marvel's Avengers Campus there at Disneyland, California Metro Park. A lot of you guys have been asking me my thoughts, my opinions, and why I didn't close off my video. I did do an opening day video at Avengers Campus, and it was pretty interesting. So I'm going to go through the steps here. Now, it's not a negative video, or I'm not trying to be a poopy dad or a poopy guy or blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers and say, oh, wow, this is great, that's great, this is great. I'm going to tell you the truth. And that's how I am. You guys watching me on Twitch, you guys know my how I am. You guys been watching me on YouTube for years, you guys know exactly how like it is. That's probably why I don't get invited to a lot of places, because I tell you guys straight up how it is. Clear my throat. Okay, so when getting there, now, one of the downsides about Avengers Campus is there's a virtual queue. You either get in at 7 a.m. or you get in at 12 noon for the virtual queue to actually ride the web slinger ride that's in Avengers Campus, which is the Spider-Man ride that they have there. Now, another bad thing that Disney is doing is you have to choose whether you want web slingers or if you want Rise of Resistance. You can't have both. So if you lose out, so whatever one say you're going there for a web slinger and you don't get it, you lost out on Rise of Resistance as well. So now your second option is waiting to 12 noon. So now you have to either choose, do I do Rise of Resistance or do Web Slinger? And if you do Web Slinger, if you don't get it, then boom, you're asked out. And if you're coming in from like Sacramento or San Diego, you're going to lose out. You're going to go on a trip hoping to go on one of those rides, and you're not going to get on either one. Okay, first things first, the queue does fill up in 5 seconds. Literally, at 7 a.m. on the dot, 5 seconds later, the queue is like sold out. I got in at the 12 o'clock queue, and it sold out in 5 seconds. People were yelling, people were cheering. Other people were mad because they drove like 6 hours to get there, and they weren't able to get into the Web Slingers ride. Now, another bad thing that Disney is doing with Avengers Campus is the fact that if you don't get a reservation, you can't enter Avengers Campus. You have to stand in line, and that line takes 4 to 5 hours. Now, when I was there, I talked to somebody who was there, and when I finally got into Avengers Campus, it was like about 5 p.m. And when they finally got to Avengers Campus, they said they were in line for 6 hours. 6 hours just to get into Avengers Campus. They didn't get the Web Slinger reservation because it sold out, the queue, but they waited in line for 6 hours to get in. And what really pissed them off is the fact that by the time they got in, all the food was gone. By the time I got in at 5 o'clock, everything was sold out. You couldn't mobile order anything. If you guys watched my video, the only thing I was able to get was that little cream puff donut thingy, and then they had like the green turtle, which is, I forget what flavor it was. I didn't try it because those are the only two things that you're able to buy. Everything else was sold out. All the stands, the PM test library, kitchen, everything was gone. There's nothing. So imagine people who stood in line all day long just to get Avengers Campus to go try some of the foods and treats and snacks and everything else they want, and it's all gone. So it's kind of a bummer. And now the bad thing is that happened all weekend long. Not just the opening day, it happened all weekend long. Today's Monday, and people were posting pictures on Saturday and Sunday, all weekend long. Food was gone by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. See, Disney needs to fix that, because if you're going to wait in line for 6 hours, I want to come in and enjoy Adventures Campus and try some of the snacks and treats or whatever else. But the fact is, you can't because everything's sold out. Guardians of the Galaxy is now inside Adventures Campus. You cannot enter on Hollywood Street and Disney California Adventure to go into Guardians of the Galaxy. Now you have to wait until you get into Adventures Campus. And like I said, the only ways to ride or get into Adventures Campus is either you get a reservation from the Web Slinger ride, and once you get that, you get to walk into the Adventures Campus, or you you stand in line for 5 hours and just to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, because that's it. There's only 2 attractions there: Guardians of the Galaxy and Web Slingers. If you don't get the queue for Web Slingers, then Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's kind of a bummer because a lot of people want to ride Guardians of the Galaxy, but people don't want to wait in line for 6 hours just to ride Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, another thing too, Avengers Campus, it's really cool. It's really detailed. It's something to see. When you walk in, you have the jet, you have the stores, you have like the web slinger, and then there's a lot of character interaction. But Avengers Campus is not Galaxy's Edge. Galaxy's Edge is far most, probably still the best land that Disneyland has to offer. Galaxy Edge makes you feel like you're in Star Wars. Makes you feel like the whole atmosphere, the detail, everything that's down. It's just like, it's amazing. It's really awesome. And Galaxy's Edge makes you feel you're part of that galaxy. Like literally, Galaxy's Edge, Star Wars Land, and Star Wars, literally feels like you're walking on a film set. I kid you not. That's what it feels like. Everything's so detailed, and it feels you're in that scene. Now, Avengers Campus, you don't have that same effect. You walk in, it's kind of like, okay, just kind of like buildings. There's a restaurant, there's a store, the web store, there's Guardians of the Galaxy, there's a couple of stands, and that's it. You get to see Doctor Strange area, which is kind of cool. You get to see the jet on top, which is kind of cool. But that's it. There's nothing really. You have to see the web slinger. It's kind of cool. A couple of little details here and there, but that's it. There's nothing really. It's not Galaxy's Edge. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge is still by far the best thing to do. If you're gonna wait in line for 5 hours, go wait in line for Rise of Resistance. Go wait in line for Galaxy's Edge. Avengers Campus is okay, but not worth the 5 hour wait. I'm gonna keep saying that because I'm telling people. A lot of people out there who are traveling from out of town are coming in, driving 4 or 5 hours just to get to Avengers Campus. And if you don't get that queue at 7 a.m. to get a web stingers ride, or the queue at noon, there's nothing really in there for you to do. Yeah, it's cool to go in, look, and take pictures, and character interaction. There's a lot of characters. You have Thor, you have Loki, you have Captain America, you have Ant-Man, you got Wasp, you have Black Widow, you have Iron Man, you have the Spider-Man show. Now, another negative thing about Avengers Campus is there's no timesheet. So you don't know when any of these shows go on. They just randomly appear. You're like, oh, okay, a show's happening. Crowds are moving. So you don't know whether they're every hour, every half hour. They just happen. You have the Wakanda thing going on as well. But there's no time. There's no time frame. So people are just standing around in the circle of Avengers Campus just waiting because nobody knows when's the next show, when's the next Spider-Man show, when's the character going to come out, when is the Wakanda, when is Loki and Thor going to come out and talk to you. There's no time frame. You just have to like guess, and like I said, people just stand in the circle of Avengers Campus, which brings up the next subject. There is no social distancing in Avengers Campus. There is none whatsoever. At this point, you might as well not wear a mask. That's how bad social distancing is in Avengers Campus. Now, I'm not the only person who's mentioned that. Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're being so hard and so negative." But if you've gone, you understand exactly what I'm talking about. Every time a character came out, crowds rushed in. I was literally there when Loki and Thor were interacting, and the crowd just came. I mean, people are like literally bumping into me, grabbing my ass. It's just like, that's how crowded it was. Imagine 200 people just there, and it's hot. Yeah, you can smell people's breath. There's no social distancing whatsoever. Like I said, at this point, don't even wear a mask because what's the point? What's the point of wearing a mask at Disneyland when no one's social distancing and it's packed? And when the next show starts, everyone goes there. It's packed. It's like all the crowd just follows, and you're in a crowd. So if you don't like crowds, then Adventures Campus is not for you. I'm telling you that right now. Because it's really crowded. People who get there at 7 a.m., people who get there early, will stay there all day long. Because here's the other downfall of Avengers Campus. Once you leave, you can't come out. You can't come back in. Unless you have the 12 o'clock queue for web slingers, then you can come back in. But if you don't have that, the only way to get back into Avengers Campus is stand in line for 5 hours. That's it. That's the only way to get back inside. You can't walk through. So once you're in, that's it. Unless you have a queue, or if you want to go and stand in line for 5 hours. Now, there's somebody out there who actually tested that theory, and they left the queue. They left Avengers Campus around, I think it's like noon. They got there at early, 9 a.m. They left around noon. They didn't get back inside until 8 p.m. The park closes at 10. They got back into Avengers Campus at 8 p.m. So they stood in line for like 5-6 hours just to get back in, just to test the theory to see, okay, maybe it goes faster later on, but it doesn't. And then the line goes long. The line goes all the way back to like Pixar Pier and at Crossroads, and people say it goes all the way back to Inside Out. Now, I didn't take any photos or pictures of how far it goes, but if you guys watch my video, you guys will see how far it does go. It goes all the way to the swings, and that's insane. Like, and it's hot. Okay, it's really hot here in the weekend in Cali, and imagine standing in line for 5-6 hours. Which is another thing too. If you're gonna come for Avengers Campus, don't do park hopper. Just do 1 day DCA. That's it. Because if you don't get the 2 queues and you're willing to stand in line for 5 hours, you're pretty much gonna spend your whole day, or at least half your day, standing in line waiting to get into Avengers Campus. And if you do that, expect to not try any food, because they will run out of snacks. They will run out of drinks. They will run out of churros. They're running out of everything. I think Disney needs to plan better, because something's not right. I mean, it's a cool land to visit, but if you have to get there early, I mean, I've been watching the feed today, and people are outside Harbor Boulevard at 6 a.m. because they know if you don't get in at 7 a.m. and you don't get that 12 o'clock queue, you're in line for 5-6 hours. And I don't know when that flow is going to change, or you can just walk in, walk out, or Disney needs to like maybe tag people, give them like raps since they know exactly what time they've been there, because there's a lot of people who don't leave the park and leave that section. Once they're there all day, which slows down the line and makes other people out there who don't live locally, who don't come every day, who did spend all day to come and be at Adventures Campus, and they don't get the opportunity. And when they do, it's gone. Like I said, when I got in at 5 o'clock, everything was gone. There was no food whatsoever. So the frustration did kick in. I was kind of like, I want to try certain things. I want to try the big pretzel. I want to try the drinks, but nothing. They stopped all mobile orders. They said nothing. That's it. You can't order. You can't get this. You can't get that. And it's a bummer. It's like literally a bummer. The fact that you go in to go and enjoy and try and check out the land. And as a YouTuber, this is like something that we do to get paid. You know, here on YouTube, just watch your videos. This is like the income's like our job to go out and do this, so you guys can go and check to see whether you guys want or not it's worth for you guys to go into. But it's just, there's a lot of people. Like day one, it was packed. Like I said, it was packed, but it's still packed. It's still crowded. Disney needs to figure out how to plan, how to rotate, how to move people in and out. It's just really insane, really crowded. So, like I said, the title of this video is Avengers Campus worth the 5 hours in line to get in? No, it's not. Especially, like I said, if you're not a local, you don't come every week, you don't come every day, and this is your family vacation, do something else. The cast members are there, and they tell you the same thing. They're not supposed to, but they do. They tell you the same thing. They tell you, do not waste half your day waiting for Adventures Campus if you don't get the queue. If you get the queue, you can just go in. You don't have to wait. They'll tell you what number to go in, and you can go in. But if you don't get the 7 a.m. queue, and if you don't get the 12 noon queue, do not waste half your day waiting in line for Avengers Campus to be let down, because there aren't going to be any treats, there aren't going to be any food. You're going to go, you can't, and another thing too is, if you don't have a reservation, but you wait in line for 5-6 hours to get into Avengers Campus, the only ride you can go on is Rise of Resistance. You can't go on Web Slinger. Web Slinger, you actually need a virtual queue to get on, which is 7 a.m. and 12 noon. So it's kind of like you're going to Adventureland Campus just to see everything, ride Guardians of the Galaxy, and look at people eat the food that you want to try. And that's it. There's nothing else really to do, and it's really crowded, and there's no social distancing, and it's really it's kind of frustrating. You get to see the characters that come out, but you don't know when they're coming out. They just come out. So you have to like guess, okay, who's coming out, what time, because there's no time frame. No one knows when they're coming out. All the cast members say is once you see them pulling people back, that's when you know a character's coming out. But you have to pay attention, which goes to the second part where everybody just hangs out in the circle because nobody knows when anything happens. Now, another thing too is I think Disney needs to fix this, because people are spending $30 to $50 on a little web slingers that you can buy at the web store to help enhance the ride much better. But the only thing is, you can only use it for that ride. You can't use it throughout the park. Like Universal Studios, they have the wand of Harry Potter. You get to go to Harry Potter Land and you get to go interact with all kinds of stuff and use that wand. You're spending $60 on a wand, but yet you get to use it every time you go there, which is cool, which is awesome. Disneyland, no. Adventures Campus, no. There's spider bots everywhere. It'd be cool if Disney let you interact with the spider bots, because they do give out lights, they do make sounds, but no. The only time you can use it is when you go on Web Slinger's ride. And that's another thing too. Is that worth the I waited like 6 hours to get into the queue, because I got the 12, so I got in about 5 o'clock. So like almost 5 hours. Is waiting 5 hours to get into Web Slingers worth it? No. Transformers Universal Studios is way better than Web Slingers. Web Slingers is pretty much like Woody's Roundup, or Berry Tales is more fun and interacting than Web Slingers. That's my opinion, like I said. But if you don't get those, but that $50 little enhancer you get to enhance your ride, you can only use it on that ride. That's it. There's nothing else. So people who buy it either buy it for cosplay, decoration, or something cool to have, but you can only use it on the ride. And another thing is, you can only ride the ride once. So you only use it once when you go in the park, and that's it. You're spending $50. So but if you have $50 to spend and drop and use it, then yeah, go ahead and do it. Don't ignore everything I said. But if you want more interaction, let's say go to Universal Studios and get the Harry Potter one, spend the same amount of money, you get to interact with the whole section of Harry Potter Land. That is more of an investment. But there you guys go, guys. This is my thoughts and opinions. And a lot of people keep asking me, how is it? How is it? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Ask me how's the food. I didn't get a chance to try the food. I'm going to try again either this weekend or next week to get in. But I know they're selling out really fast, so the tickets are kind of sold out. But it's hard to get in. But my recommendation to people out there who did get their Avengers Campus or their Disney California hopper, make sure you get the queue. Because like I said, do not stand in line. Do not, please, 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 do not stand in line for 5 hours, get into Avengers Campus, because you're going to be disappointed. Unless you're, I mean, I'm a big Marvel fan. Okay? I'm a huge Marvel fan. I've been collecting comics since I was in 8th grade. So I'm a huge comic book fan. It was cool and fun to see, but when you get inside, it's kind of like, okay. But you can't try anything. Like I said, you get to go on Web Slinger once. You have Guardians of the Galaxy, and you have no food to try. If you get in late, if you get in early, you get to try everything. But if you get in late, like I did, you get the 12 o'clock queue. I got in about 5 o'clock. From the 12 o'clock queue, that's like 6 hours later. There's nothing there. It's crowded. No social distancing. And all there is to do is shop, go on Web Slingers, and watch the characters whenever they pop out, once you have no idea. So, but yeah, that's my opinion, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what your opinion was. I know there's a lot of horror stories. A lot of people out there are angry, upset. People came from out of town. I've talked to tons of people. Like a lot of people there I knew, a lot of YouTubers I knew, a lot of content creators I knew, and they all had the same opinion. But a lot of them are not going to say negative things because that's not their channel, because they're positive. Me, I'm going to tell you straight out. I don't give a fuck. I'll tell you straight out whether it's worth your money, not worth your money. And especially when June 15th opens up and people from out of state are going to be coming in to Disneyland. If this is your vacation and if you don't get that queue at 7 a.m., do not waste. Do not stand in line for 6 hours. I don't care how little Billy is crying. Don't. I'm telling you, because you're going to be disappointed. You're going to spend half your day in line going to a campus with no food. And no social distancing. So if you're afraid of crowds, you're afraid of people being sick, whatever else, there's no social distancing whatsoever. And like I said, hopefully one of these days I'll be able to try the food when I get back there. But it's insane. Disney needs to fix something. They need to reroute. They need to work something. You need to shuffle the people out, because people just stay all day long. And it takes some time for everybody else who don't get the opportunity to come in. So, but there's a lot of things they need to do. And like I said, don't spend $60 on the Web Slinger for the Web Slinger ride, unless you want it for a collectible, your cosplay. You're going to use it more often, because you're going to use it once for Web Slinger, and you can't get back on the ride again unless you have the queue, and you only have two opportunities to get the queue. If anything, if you're going to waste anything on the queue, do Rise of Resistance. Best ride there at Disneyland. I guarantee you'll be happy. Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, even though there's not really much to do other than Millennium Falcon and Rise of Resistance and shopping, it has more to offer. It has more restaurants, the scenery. You can build a robot. You have lightsabers. The whole scenery is much better. The environment's much better. It's not crowded. If you think Guardians of the Galaxy is crowded, just double that, and that's Avengers Campus. But people next to you, literally bumping into you. Some people bumped into me, and people don't apologize. Like I said, at that point, it's like, don't even wear a mask at Avengers Campus, because that's how bad social distancing is. And if you don't believe me, watch every YouTuber's videos, and you're going to see crowds galore. Literally crowds galore. And that's how it was. I mean, that's why I didn't do an outro, because it was frustrating, because I was bumped so many times, and I felt uncomfortable. For once, I felt uncomfortable. I never felt uncomfortable. And that I felt uncomfortable, because there's so many people just around. I felt like I was at a concert. I was like literally at a concert, and people just there. But it wasn't really a concert. I was trying to watch a show or watch people talk and interact. But it was crazy. But like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys do like, guys. Let me know your thoughts below. Let me know your opinions and what your guys' thoughts, your guys' experiences, and how you guys feel. Like I said, it's not a negative video. I'm just telling you the truth. I'm giving you guys a warning. So if you guys go there, you guys know what to expect. Because there's a lot of waiting to get in if you don't get that queue. And if you do get the queue, the morning queue, then you get lucky, you try the food. But if you get the late queue, the 12 noon queue, there's a good chance you're not going to get any food again, because like I said, this whole weekend is sold out, and it's kind of frustrating. You got the queue, you finally get in there, and you're happy, and you either write web stingers, right, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then suffer with no social distancing and no food. But anyway, guys, there you guys go. There's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed this rant.